everybody, it's Desiree, and it's so good to be talking to you guys again. I know I've been MIA for a while, and before I get into the actual anime review, I want to kind of catch up with you guys. The past few months have been really hectic because I have finally graduated high school. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how good it feels to be able to say that after so many years of studying and projects and exams, and it just seems like it kept getting worse as you get closer to the finish line, but it's finally all done. I did all that work, and actually I found out that I graduated valedictorian, but I found out a few days before the ceremony, so I only had a couple of days to write a speech and memorize it, and it was so nerve-wracking, but I think it turned out really nice, and I actually put it on YouTube, so if you guys want to see it, I'll put a link in the description. But I was really happy with how it turned out, and in the midst of all that graduating stuff, I was getting ready for college, taking AP exams, college placement exams, doing scholarship applications, but all of that is finally over. Everything is set up. I'm going to go to the University of Miami in the fall, and I'm finally free and clear during the summer to once again talk about anime. So without further ado, my review on The Secret World of Arrietty. So The Secret World of Arrietty was a movie released in 2010. It's a Studio Ghibli film in production with Disney. So it had a huge marketing campaign in America, and if you don't know about this movie, you have been living under a rock. But I will explain it for you. Basically, it's about a boy who moves into a house and discovers that there are little people called borrowers living in the house. It's very simple. Now, I always love to start with good news before bad news, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about my favorite things about the movie. This movie, being a Studio Ghibli film, obviously shines in its animation. They are so great with their scenery, with their drawing, and this movie really plays Arrietty's size for all it's worth. When you look at the movie, you see things from her perspective, and they really are from her perspective. When I was first watching it, I kept thinking, this is really weird. Things aren't behaving right. The things she was interacting with, they weren't acting correctly, and I couldn't figure it out. Until finally I realized the science on this level is much different than the science on our level. And just to give you an example, liquids don't run in a stream. When she pours tea or water or anything like that, it comes out jelly, like it's congealed together. And I couldn't figure out why I was doing that until I realized water sticks to itself. So the smaller it gets, the more it's gonna get into a sphere-like shape. So everything that's liquid is acting like jelly, like it's sticking together. And once I figured out what was going on, it was so cool to look at all the little scientific things that are different on the miniaturization level than what we're used to. And that kind of attention to detail, just in that aspect, not even getting into the scenery and all of the drawing, they put so much work into this movie. And if everything else about the movie sucked and just the animation was good, I would still watch it. Luckily for you, everything else didn't suck. It was a great movie. After the animation, I really loved the music. And the music actually has an interesting story because the lady who did the score for the movie is actually a French singer, and she loved Studio Ghibli films, and she sent them her CD as a gift. And they ended up liking her CD so much that they brought her on to compose the score. And I thought that was so cool to be a fan of something and then to be able to be a part of creating it. It was just such a nice story, and the music was so good, I had to share it with you guys. The pace of the movie was pretty average. It was about an hour and a half, not too long, not too short, pretty good. Now we get into the things I didn't like about the movie. Okay. Because this movie was made in association with Disney, there are going to be some changes, seeing as it's Disney. I really had a problem with the way these changes affected the main character of the boy named Sean. But before I talk about that, you need to know there are 3 different voiceovers of this movie. There's the Japanese, the original Japanese, there's the American version, and then there's a British version. And the British version came before the American version. So I don't know why they felt the need to have an American version after that, but they did. So I'm talking about the American version. I have no idea about the British version until after I watched it. So you're gonna have to watch that for yourself to see if it's different or if it's better. But as far as the American version goes, things I didn't like. Number 1, they changed the kid's name. In the Japanese version, his name is Sho. In the American version, his name is Sean. Pretty similar. Why feel the need to change it? I understand that this is made for kids and they were probably trying to make it easier. But when you watch Ponyo, they didn't change the name. If you watch Naruto, his name doesn't become Nathan because it's in America. That doesn't make any sense. So that was something I felt was completely unnecessary. Number 2, I thought his actor sounded too old for the character he was playing. He's supposed to be 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe 14 at the most, and he sounded much older in my opinion. And that just made him much too mature for me. It kind of threw me off when I was watching it. And my third point is, halfway through the movie, there's a scene with Sean and Arrietty talking, and he came off as very adult, very mature, and very emo, to be honest. And the voice didn't help with that. He just sounded very adult throughout the whole movie. And without spoiling anything, I thought the scene came off weird. And researching after the movie, I found out that Disney changed the script from the original Japanese. Not giving anything away, in the original Japanese, Sho was kind of talking about things he learned and relating it to his life. And I thought that sounded very smart, like someone who goes to school and can make connections. The scene was still kind of depressing, but it was like a kid talking about what he learned. That sounded believable. Sean, in the American version, was talking about personal experience. And that's something that adults do. Kids don't talk about it like that because it came off really adult, really depressing. He sounded emo and creepy, to be honest. Very weird, very weird. So the movie was great overall, but these are the little things that kept it from being like an A+ for me. Would I recommend it? Of course I would. I thought this movie was great. Anybody could watch it. Doesn't matter how little you are, how old you are. I'm sure you could find something entertaining about this movie. And especially if you like Studio Ghibli films, I would recommend you watch it. Other than those little things, great movie overall. That's all I have to say about Secret World of Arrietty, and it's great to be talking to you guys again. So I hope you liked this review. Like, comment, subscribe if you did, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.